What was the biggest lesson that you learned in high school that you think still applies to our generation? You're not that old.
Back in the old days, I would say it goes back to my earlier philosophy that if you can broaden the kinds of friends you have, if you don't just say, okay, I'm in this group and these are my friends and I'm not talking to those people, and kind of us versus them. If you can get out of us versus them, and you can have friends and different kinds of friends. Maybe you are in the higher level academic classes. You have some friends there, and you have some friends who are from your sports, or you have friends from a club, or the more different kinds of friends, and not just superficial friends, but real friendships you can have, the better off you'll be. And I felt that I was really lucky that I did have, because of student council, because of the classes I was in, because of sports, because of my social life, there was all different kinds of people that I had pretty good friendships with, and I think it really served me well to never be pitting anybody against each other, and just having a general sense of. I think that also goes to the self-worth element. So I would say that's the best advice I can give based on what I learned, and what I think is always the case for anybody at that age is try to have as diverse a group of friends as possible.
And like you said earlier about the sports and stuff, a lot of kids today think that the sports and winning is the most important thing in the world, and I understand that you kicked the winning goal at a Dartmouth soccer game and clinched the Ivy League championship. But aside from the thrill of victory, I mean, what are the most valuable lessons you can learn from sports?
All of the best lessons in life from sports I've found have all come from the times that you've lost, where it didn't go your way. So I think in the end, a good balance of winning and losing is important. And if you just win all the time, you won't get anything out of it. And having some really tough losses is really important. I had one loss that to this day I would want to take back and change, but at the same time I realized what an important part of who I am it is. That when I was a sophomore in high school, your whole dream was about winning the state championship. Because my older brother had won the state championship, and he was the captain, scored the winning goal. And, I was a sophomore, and I came off the bench to tie the game with 24 seconds left against our arch rival in the semifinals of the state championship against Kearney. And John Harks, who later played for the national team, was playing, and I tied the game with 24 seconds left. And then we go into penalty kicks, and I have a penalty kick to win the game. If I scored the penalty kick the next day, the paper was going to say, Shue beats Kearney. And I was only a sophomore, and I wasn't even a starter, so I was coming off the bench. And I missed the penalty kick, and then we lost the game in penalty kicks. And, so I went from tying the game with 24 seconds left, like the most, ecstatic moment of my sports life, probably, even to this day. And then had the most awful moment of missing the penalty kick, having the ball saved, and then, then realizing later on that, that was just one of those just unbelievable moments where you're not going to get it just the way you want it, and that's not the way life is. So winning isn't everything, but playing and competing and striving and going for things is, I think, A, a lot of fun, B, really important to, as long as you're doing it in a way that's really healthy and it's within a teamwork and you're not your own. You don't got your own game going on, but the rest of the team has another game going on. Sports. I think if it's done in the right way, it can be an incredible life opportunity.